you called him Mr. Robinson?
We're talking about Smokey Robinson. That's Mr.
Hello.
Martin Freeman has joined us. Something you'd like to say? Who was that we were just listening to first? Absentees. We didn't really listen to much of that.
That was quite good. I was drumming along. I was quite enjoying that.
You like the modern music as well?
Some.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't see that. I know that you're very much a fan of the mod period, the 60s and so on. Yeah. But so like, what are you eating, Martin? You've come in here. Could you not eat that before you came in?
Well, no, I couldn't, frankly. No, it's early.
Can you not wait until afterwards? Then?
Absolutely not. No.
I had a sausage sandwich earlier that was excellent.
Back to that compilation we were talking
about. We have with us Mr. Martin Freeman. We'll talk about music in a minute. First of all, though, let's talk about, because Martin is obviously a talented actor, there's no doubt about that. Often actors go in search of good parts.
They do. Well,
you're not always getting the work you necessarily want or choose, I would have thought.
You want good parts, yeah. Okay. You want good stories, yeah.
You've lucked into one here because he's in the new.
Lucked into one. Thank you very much.
Well, no, you know what I mean, though. Martin is in the new Anthony Minghella film.
You really had to make an effort with that, didn't you?
Minghella. It's a strange name.
Your mouth went wider than I've ever seen it before.
I think I should soften them. I think it's Minghella. I always think it looks like
Minghella.
Minghella.
It's not Minghella or anything like that. It's Minghella.
Is he Spanish?
I've checked with him.
Do you think?
I think maybe Italian.
Is he? Minghella.
Yeah, it's not even a maybe. Yeah. Is he Spanish? What do you think? He's from the old Kent Road.
Minghella. Well, does it count?
Minghella, it's Italian.
Does it still count as a British movie then, if it's written and directed by an Italian?
It's pretty English, isn't it?
Okay.
I would say, yeah.
Can you still say eye-tie when talking about Italian, or is that considered wrong?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not considered wrong. Nor is WAP. No. Okay. It just means without passport. Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Is that where that phrase comes from?
Yeah, without passport. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And did we check? Does Anthony Minghella have a passport?
I haven't checked, but I imagine he does. He's quite an upright man.
If you're listening, Signor, give us a call.
He's not actually Italian. He's from the Isle of Wight.
The telephone and give us a call.
Yeah, he's an Isle of Wight boy.
Okay. But let's talk a little bit more seriously, because we were, I think, joking, about the movie. Breaking and Entering, it's called. First of all, could you just set it up for us briefly? What's the actual kind of the core of the story?
The core of the story is Jude Law's character and my character, have a business together, landscape architects, and it keeps being broken into. And Jude goes in search. We both go in search, but Jude goes more in search of who is doing this breaking into, and he sort of finds out. And that's the kind of jumping off point for part of the story. The other part of the story is that he is common law married to Robin Wright Penn, and they have a child together. Well, yeah, you may well do that sign. Didn't we all? The 1974 crumpet sign. Yeah, that. It involves the hand on the elbow, yeah. Yeah, and so that they're having a relationship. Jude and Robin are having a relationship. Jude then starts a relationship with someone who he didn't ought to start a relationship with, and it's about lying, and it's about infidelity, and it's also about the world we live in as Londoners and as English people more widely in the modern sense of who we are rubbing shoulders with in our cities, and do we know the people we're rubbing shoulders with culturally, racially, nationalistically.
Do we ever make even the slightest bit of effort to get to know those people?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
We're working alongside and getting to know, and so not getting to know, but should be getting to know, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's like a little reminder. It's not rocket science. I think it's a reminder that Anthony's kind of given us the reminder that you just shouldn't judge books by their covers. It's not a very difficult concept to grasp, but it's a very easy concept to forget. As you get older, life does things to you, it batters you around a bit, and you forget that actually that person who does my cleaning, or that person who does this for me, or that person who I'd ignore might be a really interesting person with another life.
And also has hopes and dreams and ambitions and problems of their own.
Of course, yeah.
Which is a lovely thing to be reminded of, perhaps.
Exactly, yeah. But it is hopefully it is a reminder. I mean, we were all sort of taught that at 6, weren't we? But I just think life makes
kids
you
today,
forget.
Hoodies, as we know, they're all bad. Kids wearing hoodies, and they haven't learned that.
They haven't learned that. That's
we
the
mustn't
problem.
prejudge them.
We mustn't. We mustn't judge that hood by its cover.
I thought it was a lovely story. One of the things I very much liked about the film was the way that it really captured the feel for modern London, which often in movies you don't get. I think it really captured the city.
I would agree. It captures. I mean, I think any view of London, any view of anything, is the author's view. So Richard Curtis's view of Notting Hill, that's true for him, or it's true for 8 people or whatever, you know. And Anthony's
Well, it also
view of
serves
this is true for this.
It serves the needs of the film as well.
course,
I think when Richard Curtis, I think he sees the other side of London as well. But if you're making a romantic comedy, you don't necessarily want it to be the gritty.
Of course, and you can't. You literally can't involve every single thing in the world in every film you make.
No,
you have to take an angle and you have to take a tack. And I think Anthony's angle on this is it's certainly something I recognise. You know, I recognise the London in this movie.
Now, Martin's not a bad-looking guy. Okay, he's not a great-looking fellow. He's not bad. How is it going to work every day with Jude Law? Who, it's like when you're here with me. I know it's different. It's difficult when you're with someone who is.
I feel more that about Andy.
Yeah,
Andy's got the dark good looks.
Andy looks a bit like the Bosnian boy in the film, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, i.e. Andy looks about 17. Yeah, he's doing better than both of us. Yeah.
But working with Jude, who once again I think delivers a fabulous performance in the film, really good, and it's great to see him in a role which he can really cut loose with, because often I think he's in movies where you see where it's not necessarily giving him the chance to show his stuff.
And he does show his stuff,
doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's a very, very good performance from him.
He really does.
First time you worked with Jude?
Yeah, first time I'd worked with him or met him, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really like him.
And the rest of the cast is stellar too. You mentioned Robin White-Penn.
Yeah, Juliette Binoche. Uncross those eyes, John. Juliette Binoche, yeah.
And very talented young actors in it as well, I noticed.
Ed Westwick and Raffi Gavron. Raffi plays Juliette Binoche's son and the main breaker-inner. And it's his first... As far as I'm aware, it's kind of his first acting job, and I think he's excellent.
He's very good.
Really, really good.
Now, they do this thing where they jump around on buildings a lot. They jump. Now, what do they call that? Is a word for that?
They call it free running, I believe.
Free running, but there's another word for it, and they're called like...
Arsing about.
Poalelali or something. There's a... Pilulu.
Being a danger unto yourself.
Some sort of word. It's just...
Yeah.
When I was watching it, I was thinking, I'd quite like to give that a try.
Stop it.
Do you think I should just give it... What if I started with a couple of small, low walls quite close together?
I don't think you should even walk on a wall.
Do you not
Let alone jump around. I don't think... You probably shouldn't even look at a wall.
Look, people are saying as you get older, you should still try these new things. I want to jump.
That?
Lots of people.
Right.
I'm going to jump from a roof quite soon, okay? But not a high roof. And I'd like you to be there when I do it, Martin.
I'd love to be there. I'd love to be there, yeah. Can I present the documentary?
No, not from a high scale roof, but come on, join me. Why don't we do a bit of this free running? Why don't we do some next weekend? What are you doing next weekend?
Do you know what? You've got me. I couldn't think of an excuse.
Okay, well, let's go for half an hour. Would it kill you? Well, yes, it might do. But
just
let's not do it high. Let's do it low, or do it on bits which you can't really fall. Let's try a bit and see how we get on with it.
But then, you can always do bits on low bits, because it doesn't... You'd be brilliant low, because you don't bring the fear in.
You got to learn.
As soon as you bring the fear in, high is scary.
Imagine you get a phone call from me next Saturday morning, it's about 6:30, and I go, Martin, what are you doing?
I think then I might have the presence of mind to think of an excuse.
It's a great morning outside. It's clear.
Yeah.
It's dry. Importantly, dry for us free runners.
Yeah.
Grab your kit. Let's go.
Grab your New Balance.
I'm outside.
If you were outside my house, I'd be really frightened.
Where are you outside? On the roof. Where do you think? I jumped here. Right? Wouldn't you be tempted?
I'd be tempted to get up on the roof to throw you off. Yeah.
That's not the meaning of the game, I don't believe. It's not like throwing people off roofs, is it?
Oh, it can be.
Seriously, I would quite like to try some. Seriously.
Okay.
Come on with me. Will you come with me?
No, obviously I won't.
Oh,
but I am very happy to hold the camera. Only too happy to be a chicken. That is actually... Do you know what you're making the sound there of? A cock. That was more specific.
Dear, you see, he's undermined me. All right, then now, Martin, we know you love the sweet sound of soul music.
Yeah, not only. I don't want to be pigeonholed. It's just
it's mainly what you listen to, isn't it?
Yeah. Go on. Make up my life.
Yeah, Martin, after a hard day's
typical evening for me is...
A hard day's free running, he jumps in through the window and immediately slams on some vintage vinyl. All right? Ideally an obscure track by the Afronauts or some such band. There was a band called the Afronauts, wasn't there?
There was a band called the... Was it the Afronauts?
I believe it was. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they had a track called... Did they do... no, I'm thinking Public Enemy now. All right, here we go. I have brought in my Smokey Robinson and the Miracles 35th anniversary box set collection.
Lovely cover as well.
Oh, great. Wondered if you would like to select a track for us to play.
I would, actually, yeah.
Okay, well, while you have a look at that, we're going to play two... Well, why don't we play two Smokey Robinson tracks?
Okay.
I tell you what I want to think. Well, should we play the one...
Yeah, play the one you want to do.
I've met Smokey a few times over the years.
I remember one time you met him, you called him Mr. Robinson. He was one of the only people... Mr. Pacino was one of the other ones who you called Mr.
There's some people who deserve a bit of respect.
When you still had some respect in those days.
I would still have respect for certain people. Don't respect any for you.
Right.
You know, you're a youngster on the way up.
No, I know, but you don't even give respect to people I think you should have respect for.
Well, Smokey and I, we went free running together. And there we have a bond of Mr. equals me, Mr. Ross. It's our free running tag.
That's why he's not made records for a long time.
Yeah, he can't. He's too busy
himself
running.
an injury.
Can't get in the studio. They lock the top windows. The first time I met him, I said to him, Smokey, I'm a huge fan. He was, well, thank you. That's it. That's his
Michael
voice.
Jackson.
And he said, I said, I tell you one, I'm a bit obsessed with one of your B-sides from years ago. Oh, which one? I said, it's the B-side of The Love I Saw in You was... I'm on the outside looking in. Oh, really? I said, yeah, Come Spy With Me. He went, no. I said, I beg your pardon. He went, no, that's not one of mine. I said, I don't know if you wrote it or not, but he said, no, I never recorded it. I said, I'm sure you did, Smokey.
Beginning to doubt yourself.
No, I didn't. I didn't have it with me. I thought, I can't. So I had to let him have his way. I went, OK, I'm very sorry. Last time, got it out, furious, found it there, played it. I've been angry for years.
Yeah.
Good sense, Pavard. I didn't mention to him this time. I didn't want to spoil his trip to London. But I've dug it out, and this is great. And I think it was the soundtrack for an obscure spy movie, which I've never tracked down, called Come Spy With Me.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Someone might know about it, but listen to the opening of this track. It is just genius. Who was that?
New single from The Killers called Bones.
Of course it is. We played that last week, didn't we?
We did. I think it's
I
a
love
great
The
track.
Killers. Here, I've got something here we should play in a minute.
OK.
I've got the new 007, the new Bond theme.
All right.
Have you listened to this yet? Have you heard this yet?
No, I haven't heard it, no.
OK, well, I don't think it's been played a lot. Release date is the 11th of the... Is that the 11th of the 12th?
Yeah, it would be.
Blimey, that's a long way off, isn't it? Well, OK, can we play it, do you think?
So, it breaks your rules. Normally you don't like to play.
Oh, don't. You see how he loves to...
They've sent it.
I just burped and a bit of sausage came up. I do apologise.
lovely.
You're a vegetarian, aren't you, Martin?
Well, I don't call myself vegetarian because I eat fish. So,
Is that a pescatarian?
yeah, I suppose. I mean, I think a proper veggie doesn't eat anything. No animals.
Well,
you know.
they just eats windfall fruit and so on.
No, I used to be a proper veggie, but I'm not anymore.
OK, what made you change?
Hunger. Genuinely, I know. Really, it really was. I got a message from my stomach saying go and eat fish.
You needed some more,
genuinely,
more
really.
constant source of protein.
Yeah.
Here's the worrying thing. I read in the papers this week that in 40 years' time there'll be no fish left.
Yeah, I saw
It's
that.
very frightening.
It's
really, really frightening. I can't believe it's true, but I mean, you know, as a scare, it's frightening.
Here's the thing that depresses me. Well, why do you not believe it's true? This is what people said about global warming 10 years ago.
Yeah, and are we still fine? Yes, we are.
Yeah, but we're getting
It's
more
a
worried.
lovely day out there.
All right, listen. Why is it? When we were kids growing up, were you the same? I don't know if you're the same. I thought it would be cool if the future is like it is in science fiction books, OK? Didn't you think that? You think, wouldn't it be great? And as it so happens, it turns out the future is like it is in science fiction books, but the depressing ones.
Yeah. The frightening bit.
Not
the Aldous Huxley.
Not the
Yeah.
jetpacks and the beautiful future, you
Yeah.
know, and enough for everyone. It's the one where we're running out of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's getting too hot.
Peopled by little drones in hoods.
Although it is, it's very parkour at the moment.
It's very parky, yeah.
But, OK, now, I went to see the new Bond movie last night. Do you, when you choose movie parts, if you're offered a part in a film like Bond, obviously you're not going to be offered Bond.
Sure.
But if you're offered a part in a movie like a Bond movie, do you think, OK, I'd rather do something which is a little bit more challenging for me as an artist, or do you think, good, that's work, it's going to get a big audience? Do you balance those kind of considerations?
Honestly?
Yes.
I don't really do the it's going to be big balance.
Right.
I don't really.
You don't
do
worry
that.
about that or factor that in?
Honestly, no, not really. I mean, if it's going to be big and it happens to be something I love, then great. But if it's something that I'm not really into, I don't make myself go through it because it's going to get me X, Y, or Z.
Okay, so you wouldn't force yourself into something just in a kind of careerist way. But I suppose you
No, I
do to an
wouldn't.
extent because you wouldn't want to have that career necessarily.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's still your selfish. It's I'm totally selfish on what I choose to do, what I choose not to do. It's just, is it going to make me happy? Hopefully, it won't make me poor. Yeah. But that's not the first consideration. Or famous. Or I kind of think I can live with my level of, profile or whatever. If that goes up or down, I just want to kind of be proud. Of stuff I do.
How long would you have to be out of work for before you stopped thinking that way and
question.
appeared on the buses for the movie?
I genuinely, I don't know. But it's a good question, though.
About 7 months, 8 months?
Yeah,
7?
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have thought after 6 months you'd start getting... I mean, I know for myself, if it's 6 months, I'd get desperate, I think.
I do like working. I really do. And thank God I'm able to do work that I like. But if I wasn't able to do that, then, good question. I'll let you know.
Okay, I saw the new Bond movie last night.
Okay. Good?
I was waiting for someone to ask.
We assumed you were going to say anyway, John.
Well, I'm going to tell you now because he's asked.
How good was it?
It was great.
Was it?
It was great.
He's beefed up a bit, isn't he? I saw him come out the water.
I think a bit too muscular, although rather pathetically I did that thing, and I don't know if you like some where I sat there and after I thought, I'm going to do some sit-ups now. I am, and I did some this morning. How pathetic is that? I'm 45. Well, I'm not going to be Bond. Why did I do sit-ups this morning?
But don't you sort of look after yourself anyway, John?
Not as much as I did say this time last year. I've got to get back in shape, Martin.
Yeah, but you go in cycles, don't
Of
you?
course I do.
Sometimes you're buff and
then
sometimes...
I'm bump on them.
Well, no, you're never huge.
Well, I've been huge occasionally in the past. It's very good, but here's another thing that was quite pathetic. Halfway through the movie, and it's a long movie. It's 2 hours and 24 minutes long. Longest Bond movie ever. Are you a Bond
Is it?
fan?
I like them when they're on, yeah.
All right, this is a great one. Seriously, you'll like it because it's quite stylish. It's like a 60s Bond movie as well.
I like
the
that.
director, Martin Campbell, has done some quite stylish things which they wouldn't have done previously, I don't think, you know, to make it look a bit modern. It's great performance by Daniel Craig. He's a brilliant Bond. He is fabulous.
Good.
Halfway through the movie, it was so good. I had to go for when I went out, they were throwing some boxes out the bar in the cinema. I jumped over the boxes. I deliberately ran, jumped over the boxes, did a swerve, and then I pushed the toilet door open with the side of my hand like that, like it was an action move. Boom, in.
And also, after seeing Breaking and Entering, you want to go free running.
Okay, I'm very, very impressionable. All right.
Yeah. What happens when you go and see
Borat.
gay porn? What?
Coel is the film you were searching for, I think. Okay, but it's good. Will you go and see the Bond movie when it opens? It opens in a couple of weeks' time.
I'll either go and see it or I'll get the DVD. That's usually my
Don't
way.
wait for the DVD. See it on the big screen.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see it on the big screen.
You'll love it. It's great.
Okay.
Well, let's play the Bond
it here.
theme. Is it? No,
Chris
the music,
Cornell.
The music throughout the film is great. I'm undecided about this.
Okay.
And I
Are
shall
you?
tell you
The
my
tune?
opinion afterwards, but I want yours first. Bear in mind the film is called Casino Royale.
Yes.
Okay. What words would you like to hear sung in the theme song?
One of those. One of the words.
Either Casino, Royale, or both.
Yeah.
I don't think they're there. What do you think of the new Bond theme? Let's start with Mr. Martin Freeman.
Yes, very good. It'll be a smash.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, very good. It'll be a smash.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be drawn on that. And what about just in case he gets a call from the Bond people?
Yeah.
It's all right. I thought it was a bit aha-ish at the beginning.
I wanted more, to be honest with you.
It's a bit da-dum, da-dum, and you pointed out that there'd be lots of poses and things from the opening.
Yeah.
And it's a good title sequence, but you want to hear Casino Royale, just like that. In fact, if they're listening, not too late to make a change. It's not released for a week.
No,
I'm
2
around.
weeks.
I could run over the roofs to the studio, knock it off. Freeman on drums, you chuckling at the end like a villain.
Thanks.
I think shouldn't Bond songs have an element of gayness in them? An element of camp, an element of cabaret or something. Do you know
could
what I
have got
mean?
those fellas to do it.
We could have got Scissors to do
Get the
it.
Scissor Sisters to do
But
it.
there
That
should
would
be an
have been
element of torch, shouldn't there, at
There
some
should be,
point?
yes,
you know.
yes, yes. I'd like to hear Mark Harmon do one.
Fair enough, yeah, fair play. I do like women doing them, I must say.
No, that's where
Although, having said that, I love Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die is fabulous, isn't it? And a great film as well. Anyway, the new Bond movie's out in a couple of weeks. It's called Thingamajig. What's it called? Casino Royale. I was just rattling on about it. It's great.
Good for him. I'm pleased for him.
2 thumbs up.
That's good, I'm glad.
Another great movie you can see before that, a very different kind of film, Breaking and Entering, is out on November the 10th.
Yes, November the 10th, yeah.
Directed by Jose Minghella.
That's
and
Anthony Minghella, everyone.
Yeah.
And Anthony, if you're listening, I genuinely apologise.
It's starring Martin Freeman, Jude Law.
Not starring me, but go on.
You've got a big part in it.
You know, no, I'm not complaining.
But
but
I'll be honest
I'd
with you,
probably
your
say Jude
charisma is such that when Jude's on screen, all eyes are on you.
True.
You know,
That can't be denied.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's you've noticed that in your day-to-day life. Everyone's saying, there's Jude and there's a bloke who looks a bit like a potato.
How often are you out with him?
Actually,
A tall potato.
My wife says Daniel Craig looks a bit potatoey as well.
See, well, I'm in good company then. Yeah.
And at one stage, when he comes out to sea, he looks a bit like a very, very handsome, muscly monkey.
Well, what is it? Two genetic steps different or something? Yeah.
What, from a monkey to a potato?
to a human,
Oh, I see.
to a Craig.
All right.
Yeah. No, we're very closely related, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Some more than others, Jonathan.
Oh, okay, what a lovely experience to have you here again on the show.
Thank you.
Continued success. You can't even wait to... We're ending the interview. You couldn't even wait for another, a minute to start eating your croissant.
Sorry, it's because I'm so relaxed. It's like being at a cafe.
It's nice to be relaxed. I admire that. Congratulations on Breaking and Entering. It's a terrific film,
Thank you.
and your performance in it is very, very fine indeed. As
Thank you
indeed,
very
I
much.
think the whole cast really do the job, which is...
I agree. I think the cast is brilliant.
It's a nice thing, isn't it? It's a joy when that happens. And what are you doing next before you go? What do you got lined up?
I'm doing a play next in January.
And what's the play to be called?
The play is called The Last Laugh.
The Last Light. Is it a comedy?
Kind of, yeah.
Was it, written by anyone we would know?
Jonathan, I'm not even going to get into that.
Never mind that. I can't talk to you while you're just crunching and munching away. How? To quote Jar Jar Binks, how rude.
I'm sorry if it's rude. It's just because it was there.
It was there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was.
He couldn't resist it. He's like a toddler. Eh? Lucky we haven't got any paints out, or the studio would be a terrible mess. Martin, lovely to see you again.
You too.
Enjoy your one home.
Thank you.
And this is a bit more smoky for him.
Oh, yeah, this was the one that Martin chose. I'm sorry, Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us what you chose and why.
It's going all the way back to 1972 with Smokey's last hit with the Miracles. I don't blame you at all.
Give him the drive time slot. Come on.